I really like to like how I used to do. This piece of Palo Santos looks like it's gonna sing through 2 seasons. Definitely sing through season 1. Season 2. I'm putting it in my mouth today because I already can spit from fire. Do not do that at home. I don't recommend it. Well, well. Good evening. It's your big sis Natalie with another edition of Sans Woo Woo, sharing, broadcast, podcasting vitro, whatever you want to call it. Feel Good Friday, Season 2, Episode 2, tomorrow. And today's episode has been suggested by Sister Nat. I think it's 1607. Oh Lord, I've got the name wrong. I did tag her up though in the team. And so at the end of Wellbeing Wednesday this week, Nat hit me up and she suggested to do a show, to do an episode on sisterhood, and being that it's something that's quite dear to my heart, I thought, you know what, it was perfect, and it was really nice for somebody that had come through to, experience me blurb, so to speak, that she made that suggestion. I was really open to it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I think, what does sisterhood mean to you? Or in this case, what does it mean to me? Like, you can feel free to jump in and say, like, and I'll try to create space for you guys to interact and jump in. But for now, it will be, what does sisterhood mean to me? The first thing I did was I looked up the dictionary. In the dictionary, what does sisterhood mean? One is the relationship between sisters, like actual sisters. Um, Another definition is the feeling of kinship and closeness to a group of women or all women. And then the third meaning is an association, society, or community of women linked by a common interest, religion, or trade. So, for instance, like you could have a sisterhood of soap makers, like, or you could have a sisterhood of Reiki practitioners, or a sisterhood of well-being as we move. So, sisterhood, like, what is my experience of sisterhood and what does it mean to me? Like, the first thing I'd like to say is I'd like to really demarcate and state very clearly, I'm not a feminist. I have nothing against feminism. It's not my judge. That's not what I'm speaking on. I'm a humanist, like, as in all human beings. Like, I'm not a feminist. Do I believe that certain foolishness is being perpetrated on women and shouldn't be? Yes. Oh. Do I believe that wait there. Let me turn down the do I believe that actually I don't, because I don't believe in equality, I believe in equity. So that's two totally different things. Equality is giving everybody the same. Equity is giving everybody what they need to make sure that they're all on the same level. So I believe in equity. So what And I think in modern times, or it's been redefined, or what have you, but a lot of people, to my understanding, misconstrue uh, sisterhood and friendship as feminism, or the negative aspects of feminism. But I'm not here for that. I'm not here to discuss that. I'm not qualified to discuss that. It's just not what I'm discussing. I just wanted to say that and put that out there. Like, okay, sisterhood, what does it mean to me? Well, boy, I'm my sister's keeper, and it, like, we'll start there. And my sister and them that par with me close, they know why, and it. They'd probably be able to tell you better than I could why. Actually, yeah, Natalie or Paradox, whichever you know me as, is her sister's keeper. Um, for me, sisters are often counselor, confidant, support, often even financial in the space of a lack of familial or spousal support. Um, I did make some more notes. For those of us that or what I've observed is, for those of us that feel lonely, our sisters or sistrings, you know what I mean. You know what? The sun is like setting and it's really beautiful and bright, and I just don't want to mess with it, so I'll just work with it in it. Listen more than see. Like, there's nothing to see here. A lot of sistrings feel loneliness. That's not something that I experience. I just don't feel alone. I've never felt alone. But for those that do, often their sistrings. Yes, Mandela, you're right, sis. For a lot of women, their sistrings are company and help them to combat the feelings of loneliness, advice. Um, they're the ones that help you to build your self-esteem a lot of the times as well. How many times have you seen, the girl that may not be that confident, and it's her friends that pick up, no, like, nah, wear that, you look good, da, 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 da. Like, there's something, because there seems to be, yeah, I won't get into that, that's for another show. Move on, Natalie. There's also your sisterings or your sisters are often the ones that kind of know you as well as you know yourself, and sometimes more. They tend to know your quirks and your idiosyncrasies and the stuff that you usually are able to kind of mask from the rest of the world. Like, your sistrings, your true sistrings, usually they kind of see through all of that and kind of they cut through the crap, and they see you. Um, and then the word intimacy, which can be used in different ways, but in the way that I like to use it, is intimacy is intimacy. And Mandela says, they know when something's wrong as much as you try and hide it. Yeah, a lot of the times, most definitely, sis, definitely, because actually, it's that intimacy. It's like they take the time to know you, you little quirks, you little. Yeah, it is. It's that. It's definitely that. And like, for most of my sistrings, I can, even written word, I can usually pick up when something's wrong. Definitely tone of voice, and just being an energy worker, I tend to, like, even if I can't see them, there's something about the tone or the texture of the voice that usually gives it away. Um, I guess it's that part of us that is, I guess, maybe in a way wired for nurturing, of really, paying attention, like, because that attention can often mean the difference between life and death. And and not to say that, you know, men are not capable of nurture. Men are amazing nurturers, and men nurturing men, for me, like, are just the best. Like, I guess that's where I sort of have, it's like I expect women to be nurturing, I'm not mad at them if they're not, but I guess there is, even for myself, as much as like a lot of things I sort of just little finger, that was two of them, two fingers at sort of societal expectations of women. I guess nurturing is one of those things where it's so, well, especially in the women that I know, it's so natural. It's unnatural if it doesn't occur. Does that make sense? Um, yes, Mosiah, very nurturing brother there. As I was talking about nurturing brothers, still. Um, yeah, so I think that I can't remember what I was saying about the nurturing aspect and why I was saying that. Right, yes, I do. Because we tend to be taught it because of societal expectations a lot of the time. We tend to tune in when to like people's the little subtle nuances. That's why back in the day when you had all the witch trials and things like that, it was because the women um, were the ones that knew about the medicine, basically knew how to save lives and heal and things like that. And then when it became like points of power and authority, when it was, everybody's trying to assert their authority, then it became when, no, we have to actually wrestle this power back from them. And how can we do that? We use a belief system that we put in place to then thingy to denounce them as devil worshippers and stuff like that, because they know how to pick two heads, because they've been observing around the homestead, da 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 da. So I think that is why they pick up, like, that's a long-winded way of me saying, I guess that's why sisters do tend to pick up on things, and especially in this time where mental health is on the rise. It's really beginning to be something that I've observed a lot, which is a lot of people are making the decision to make their exit out of this world earlier. Um, I think now more than ever, I think the sistering circle is important, which is why, like, it's really strange to me when I hear women say, like, I don't F with women, and it, like, I'm not into women, like not in a sexual way, but like, I don't hang around women, I don't have female friends. Like, it really makes me think, like, I wonder what that's about, man. Because ultimately, how can you not like you? Do you see what I mean? And I feel like your sisters or your sisterings or your sisterhood um should really be a reflection of you. Like, there's been a lot of times for me, like, as in my personal sistering circle, my sister circle, there's been times where I've kind of lost my way and sight of who I am. And actually, in order to kind of get back on track, I've just kind of had a look around, like my close ones, and that's given me that kind of reasserted my sense of self. To get what I mean? Because you know that saying, show me your friends and I'll show you you. I think that, like, my sister and them, like, every single one of them are just amazing and different and just awesome, really, And a funny example was one time, it's at a function, and a dear sister of mine that, like, and the thing is, I don't see her all the time, like, to be truthfully honest, like, life and stuff like that gets in the way, da 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 da, da, right? But there was a gathering, and I'm just so not the groupie gathering person anymore. Just, I think I did too much of it when I was younger. I think I'm just not that here for it. I mean, like, I can look, I'm wringing my hands even thinking about it. That goes to tell you, don't it? I really love my solitude. But it was a gathering that there was no way that I could not go. Um, so anyway, so we get there, and there's people that I know, there's people that I don't know. But obviously, it's one of the things, you come in, just manners. You come in, you hail up the room, you say hello to each person, whether you know them or not. Like, because I'm representing my sister, so I'm not. Oh, I got a tap. Got a tan. Oh, see my tan line, fam. Raw. Hey. um, I'm representing my sister in it, so obviously I'm gonna come in and have manners. Like none of her people them would be, you couldn't have to say, oh, she's stuck up or standoffish or anything negative. So, anyways, so going and there's a chap, and let's just say he wasn't out of pocket at all, and I would never say that. But it was, when a chap is over friendly in a way that you're thinking, one of them. And his woman was standing like one person away from him as well, which was like I pick up on energy anyway. But my sister in here, but I'm just observing the thing. I'm peeping, I'm clocking, I'm watching dynamics, and I'm taking it in my stride, and I'm responding in my face. Like you wouldn't be able to tell it in my face. So I had a conversation with my sister, and she said it's funny, like because I just wanted to just flag it up and make it kind of clear with her as well. You know what I mean? No skullduggery, because I'm my sister's keeper at the end of the day. So I said to my sister, like, boom, yeah, like I weren't too feeling like I weren't feeling the movement still. Like, it wasn't nothing overt. It was just a vibe, man. Like I pick up on stuff and it like, and you can't peep on my leg and call it rain. So she said, basically, she said, what she noticed in me was me doing, yeah, the spiritual version, yeah, of the capoeira jingle, like I just done the step back thing. Like she said energetically, it was like I took a step back and just put my arm up as if to say, what, like move. But I haven't physically moved. But that was just like quite a funny example of how a sister who kind of knows you and takes time to read you and knows your vibe will know when something's okay and knows when it's not, even though whatever was going on was a lot. You get me? All right, boom. So, which really kind of the next segment is are are you your sister's keeper though? As a woman, are you your sister's keeper? Because the next part that I'm going to talk about is what are the blocks to sisterhood? Like, what mashes up sisterhood? Like, what mashes up sisters? Like, what is it that causes women to say, you know what, I don't really hang around with me? You get what I'm saying? Like, what is that about? How does that happen? So, according to womensday.com, the reasons for breakdown in friendships are alternative facts, when his sister is just when she's just a raw liar, when she's just like she just chat fart, like, and it just gets to the point of where he chatting fart so much that I can't even take he chatting fart. Simple enough. That's one reason. A needy Nelly, right? So in the name of being transparent or what have you, like not go talk truth and share the devil. Like, so needy Nellies often in a state of existential crisis. Um, and this can cause problems where it ties into ego and communication. Um, for me, like, because at the end of the day, I'm owning my bullshit, like, and I am definitely on a quest for doing that. So you've got, uh, if you're in a state of existential crisis, that doesn't make you feel great about yourself. Like, we often go through it, like most people will do at some point, and it's For some people, it's not just once and then done. There'll be times throughout life, so it's not that. But at the same time, when you're going through it, that does not make you feel good about yourself. You get what I mean? That's not confidence building and that. So there's times, yeah, where you can say it's pride. That's why I said ego and things like that, where it's like you don't want to hear yourself repeating the same thing again. Even if you're working it out, even if you're assisting them and your people them are like they're there regardless, it's more about you not wanting to keep saying or being the needy Nelly, because who wants to do that? Do you get what I mean? So when it's that thing of, well, why don't you say anything? Um, do you want to be the needy Nelly? I don't actually want to, even though I'm being it, like, because, like you said, it doesn't make you feel good. So it's the worst, for me personally, it's the worst feeling in the world, depending on people. It really is. It really is. And it takes a lot of strength to go, you know what? Here's my vulnerabilities. Can you look after them? Because the reality is 9 times out of 10, you can't. You've got your own vulnerabilities to deal with. I don't really want to be putting them on you anyway. Okay. See, even that was hard to say. See, I copped to attitude, even just saying it, like, swear down, needy Nelly. The next one is give and take. Um, like, give and take is a reason why friendships break down. Um, the way I define that is when they want you to be that consummate brethren, you know, that be there, ride or die. When it's, you know, good times and bad times, I'll be there for you kind of vibe, yeah. But when it's time for them to show off in the same way that they expect, ask for, and come to rely on from you, ghost. Yeah. Um, they've always got something doing, or there's always somebody or something more important than you on the list of priorities. Um, that's a bugbear of mine, actually. Like, that's something that will make me shift assist real fast, like, differently. Yeah, I'll come to that point in my evolution. And then also, they get very defensive when you speak on it. So not only have you dealt with somebody that where you give more of yourself than they give to you, they prioritize other people and other things in front of you. And when you speak on it, then you got to listen to them chat, that giving it the yeah. Enough said. Um, the next thing that causes friendships to break down: money, 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 money. Oh, so um, basically, everybody's got bills and everybody's got outgoings. And for most of us, we have the outgoings is usually the lion's share of your income is put it that way. Yeah. For those of you who that's not the case, I'm glad you've got the formula, open the books now for the mockers or shut up. That was just a little bit of bad mind jumping out. I said it, yes, and I bags in all take backs. Boom. Um, but here's the thing, yeah, we all need help at times. That's cool because there's been certain sisters that just literally just had my back like with the katana already, just had me covered, and I've needed that, and I will. As much as like I already stated, I don't like to be a needy Nelly. There's times when I have to ask. I ask them because they're safe to ask. You get what I mean? But here's the thing: you can't mess up the church's money. As a friend, you cannot mess up the church's money. So, boom, if you owe your sister money, you can't be them buying new shoes, sis, and call that friendship, but sorry, just you can't do that. You get what I'm saying? And we've all had that. We've all seen that where there's a brethren that's borrowed money off you, yeah, and before they give you your money back, or they've been late with when they said they're going to give it back, you seen them with some brand new stuff, and you're like, hang on. And yeah, there's a saying, don't give it if you know you haven't got it to give and all of that. But still, principle is the principle of the thing. You get me? And then you definitely can't pop off at the chops, yeah, when they call you on it. When the friend that you owe money to speaks on the fact that you owe them money, yet you copying you stuff, you just can't. Like, suppose they took as long to give you when you asked for it as you took to pay them back. You get what I'm saying? So instead of you bumping your gums, it's better to try and maybe figure out why you crap with money. You get what I'm saying? And bump your gums on that because that will be more freeing. Since like, and and that's even with myself. Like, I'm not the best with money. I'm like, okay, this is because I'm very generous in it. So I'm like a feast today, famine tomorrow person. Like, that's me, like being very honest and transparent with the team. You get me? And that's why, like, especially running a business and things like that, it's a very steep learning curve. And um, in that, I also understand that that feast today, famine tomorrow, comes from a feeling of lack and being taught like, oh, money don't grow on trees. You think I got money for? To get what I mean? Certain scripts that get played over and over again, like even basic stuff that seems normal to kids nowadays. Like when you was asking for it, and not for any reason. Like if they haven't got it, they haven't got it. You get me? And I understand why they said it. I'm just saying that I'm understanding it's the fact of going through that experience over and over again, created that neural pathway. So it's now time to create different neural pathways. You get what I mean? All right, boom, bam. So yeah, so it's like, but it's better to speak on your lack of financial acumen as opposed to if you've messed up, would you cease regarding money, and then you get defensive and bump your gums when you're in the wrong. Make sense, sis? Makes sense. Another reason is when they can't handle the truth. That don't need no explanation, and it really doesn't. Okay. All right, the next one. I'm gonna take a sip of water for because mhm. For those of you watching the playback, you'll see that I did put the Palo Santo in my mouth because yeah, it's just to kind of cleanse out the demons out my mouth. Yeah, and just so that because I'm trying not to swear as well. But like the those of the underground said, think I won't curse. I played dumb and said, "What the? Okay, all right." So we're gonna get through this. Boom, 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 boom. You know the tune. I gotta get through this. I'm stop it, Natalie. Okay. So the next scenario that they gave, well, they gave two, but I'm squishing them into one. Stand by your man, disappearing act. All right, boom. Hold on a second. So so the next one is stand by your man and disappearing act. This was the next thing. This was the next thing where friendships break down, and this is the next reason why friendships break down. That was my sister. Like she just messaged me like, so I just answered to make a note of you. Why friendships break down? Right, it is a personal bugbear of mine because I think it can be managed because I do it like I've been doing it very well. Um, and I'm not the most together with it person in the world. You know the type of sister, yeah, the type of sister that knows you is all up in your grill, knows you left to right, upside down, side, stuff at your house, you stuff at theirs, da 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 when they're single. But the exact minute they get a man, they ghost, and the only time they know you is when it's not going right with them and their chat. Now, as a sister, I'm like, yo, boom, I'm glad you found somebody, sis. Like, that's what's supposed to happen. But what we're not doing none at all here, is we are not. Alright? where you're gonna just dash me where when it suits you. For some geezer, like especially when the geezer's a doofus as well, like to add insult to injury. And then when it's not going right, you wanna come for so-called advice, dump off all the toxicity onto me, yeah, and then you skip away all light and happy and unburdened back into the shaggy to go and booster up that person and leave me drained. Sis, Jano, you can go to the land of off and fornicate differently. Yeah, we're not doing that. That's not friendship. That's not sisterhood. That's just something. You get me? I said it. I said it, and I don't take it back because I live by it. Because you know something, I've got sisters that have known me for 20 odd years, and whether I'm there with somebody or I'm not there with nobody, them don't know no different because I'm the same with them because that's the way that I consider myself a friend and I value friendships. So if I value you as my friend and as my sister, I'm gonna make the time for you regardless of what's going on in my personal life. Because if anything, you was there before the dude, yeah. And you probably be there after the dude's gone. Let's be realistic, because nobody, unless somebody's putting a ring on it, and even then that don't necessarily make it neither. So yeah, we're not doing that. You get me? That definitely for me personally, yeah. Even though it's one of the reasons, for me personally, that's one of the biggest reasons. You know, I'll cut off the strings for that. We'll still be cordial, and they're still like, because they're not gonna actually, they'll know in themselves, but you're not gonna know from how I handle you, because when I see you, I'm gonna be nice, but you don't get to be around my energy. You don't get the gift of my presence like that. If you're operating like that, sis, move. Okay, next. Um, Another breakdown in friendship, sisterhood, is when they're kind of, while they're prioritizing their situations, they're dismissive of yours, and that's caused a breakdown in a relationship recently, and I'm not sad about it. It's the time, tide, emotion. Jano, it's nothing to me because like my attachment style is built that way anyway. To get what I mean, and I'd rather it be where, you know what, if it's toxic, move up. Like, you get what I mean, as opposed to staying there and flogging a dead horse until they're both just one dry horse. You get me? A blow away in the breeze. Nah, let's not do that. So, but out of all of the scenarios, that one's definitely, it's on you if somebody's doing that, because it's not by force. And really and truly, you're supposed to prioritize you, especially if you're the only one that's responsible for prioritizing you. So that is really on you. And when I say you, I'm meaning me as well, because this is a by myself conversation that I'm just sharing with you. You get what I'm saying? All right, boom. So the last one, this wasn't actually on the site. This is another one. It's another one of mine, and I'm owning that. And you know what? Before I even go in on this one here, let me just light up this and something. Right, this one is one that, for me, it's one of the most painful energetically. I'd say this is how it's painful. You know when you bang your little toe, and the only reason I'm saying that because I did it today, and that's so I can recall the pain so vividly. You know when you bang your little toe, yeah, like on the corner in the bed or something, and it's hot and cold at the same time, and it's loud pain and quiet pain at the same time, and it's sharp and it's dull at the same time, and it hurts to the point of where you're screaming but no sound's coming out. You know when you bang your toe, you know that pain there. The spiritual version of that is what this next breakdown in friendship does to me. So this next thing that I'm going to talk about, yeah, when it happens to me, I experience it as a feeling, as an emotion, the equivalent of when you bang your toe. That's how painful it is. All right, boom. It's competing, fam. Mate, bearing in mind that the topic and the subject is sisterhood, friendship, camaraderie, right? How on God's green earth do you compete with your friends? How? What does that say about us if we're competing with our so-called sister? Really? Like, this is a question. Like, I I need to go in depth with this question, please. I really do. How? First, let's look at competition and the nature of competition. Then, with competition, yeah, in a competition, the object of it, yeah, I ain't got a problem with competition in and of itself. Let's get that just framed up, squared up. The object of competition here is to win, which means that there has to be losers. That's the reality of the thing. That's the cold hard reality of the thing. In a competition, you are designing and praying to win, or there's no point anyway. So if you're praying and designing to win, that means that everybody else involved has to lose. That's the nature of competition, right? That being said, how can you then compete with your so-called sister? Because then that's basically saying that you are designing for your sister to lose. Because remember, it's a competition, so you have to win. So that means she has to lose. That's not. It is not. No, come here. Listen, it's not sister. It's not friendship at all. And I said all of that to say, yeah, we'd be better served using that competitive energy, that energy that we put into competing, to basically working out why we need to compete with our sister in them. Why do we need to compete with our close ones? What is it about us that compels us to need to win or feel like we need to win so much that we would do it at the expense of our so-called loved ones? Understand? And I think it's important to say that it's very painful. That's why I used it as the euphemism of banging your toe. That pain of banging your toe, that particular pain. I'm not talking about a pinch. I'm not talking about a punch. I'm talking about when you bang your toe specifically. That's how painful it is to me on a psychological, emotional level, a spiritual level. It's painful like banging your toe, fam. And when you're on the receiving end of that, because it's like, especially if it's a sister that like I put in time and effort and energy to help them work themselves out so that they can be the best version of themselves. Because quiet as it's kept, I just want you to shine, fam. Like when you shine, I shine like brighter. I shine brighter. The brighter you shine, the brighter I shine. To get what I mean? So it's important for me, yeah, to make sure that you're shining. So and that's when if I'm gonna call myself your sister, yeah, that's the way that I'm gonna be coming at you. You get what I mean? So when I'm spending time and energy to find ways and work out ways to communicate how to lift you up, and then because of what you got going in, instead of you working that out, you enter me into some competition that A, we're not interested in her, and B, you haven't asked me about it, so you're taking away my free will whether to compete or not. And C, it don't make no rascal sense because here what yeah, everybody else is taken, so you can only do you. You get what I'm saying? To me, all right, okay, this right. I know I'm getting hyped. Personally, yeah, This is why I don't compete. And I think it's pointless. It's actually pointless. Nobody, nobody can do me like me. And I can't do anybody else like anybody else. So what's the point in that? What an insalubrious activity. Because listen, there could be two of us, and have the same bottle of water. We're gonna have two different outcomes. Do you get what I mean? Even with the same bottle of water, so then why would I compete to drinking the water? It don't make no sense to me personally. You get what I'm saying? And then to be entered into a competition that I haven't been asked for, that don't see the point of, and don't choose. That is just violation on top of violation on top of violation. You get what I'm saying? And that will never. That's another thing that will just make me go to the land of off and fornicate heavily, but you can't then on the space because you know what? That don't exist. You can't. You just can't have. You can't. It won't work in any version of my universe, any parallel universe. In none of them, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, sis. Ever, ever, ever. And the minute I clock it, storm off, off. Get me? All right then. So that was a mouthful, and I feel better for getting it out. It's like a fart. But you know me, like as much as I will talk about something and pop up a little bit. I don't see the point of talking about something unless I'm gonna speak about how it can be improved because I'm a sister in any. You get what I mean? Yes, fam. Yo, fam is my Danny, I swear to God, I love that man, like I love life. Yeah, like because I'm his sis, so I'm still gonna try and find ways to fix it. Like I'm not gonna dash away the baby with the bathwater. To get what I mean? So how can we get the best out of our sisterhood? Like, or just it's like even though the topic is sisterhood, it's relationships in general. But I think it's important to my sister and them, it's a different flex. And I'm a tomboy fam, like I'm a certified hello. Do you see anything about me that is like anything to do with right? Let's just call a spade because that's what the book is. You get me? I'm not interested, fam, and I'm my sister's keeper at that. Like, and I'm just cool with myself, innit? So I just don't have the need. But anywho, how can we get the best out of it? First one, be honest, man. Be honest. Like, there's times when, we're gonna mess up. That's human, fam. That is so human. Just be honest about it. Be honest. Like, women, like, you'll hear women say it more because what I've noticed and observed. See, I'm trying not to bring men into the conversation because it is about sisterhood, and that's my whole thing. Is actually I love men. I think they're amazing, but at the same time, my life don't revolve around them. To get what I mean? Um, and I think that at 41 years of age, I think it. Wait, am I 41 or 42? No, I'm 41. Um, am I 41 or 42? Yeah. Okay, I need to check that out. I think it's 41. Yeah, because last year 41. At 41 years of age, I must have. It's important for me, just as my evolution as a human being, to have more to talk about than a bloke in my life. I'm sorry. Because how many billions of people are there on the planet? Get me? Well, half of them roughly are men. And then half of those, if you half that number again, so say if there's 6 billion people on the planet, just as a rough number out of the air, half of them are men. So that's like 3 billion are males, then say. Of that 3 billion, half of those are going to be adult males of age. So that's still 1.5 billion men. Out of them, even if we say half, so like what's that? 0.75 billion, something like that, which is X amount of million, but my maths ain't that great. Shut up and learn me. If you want to do the calculations, you can. Right. So say roughly like 750 million, yeah. 750 million of those are eligible age and gender gender is it gender appropriate then say, and then half of those. So when you're looking maybe whatever half a billion is in millions, that many are gonna be as in sexuality, sexual preference. But we're still talking about what's that? 500 million. Fab thinks there's more women. Um, I think it's gonna be roughly. I think it's gonna be like Brexit blood. There's gonna be maybe 51-49, or 47, 53. Like it's got it's roughly half, because here's the thing. Um, in built up areas and human beings and that, and in our arrogance and our stupidity, we try to override things. But nature, yeah, nature, the thing that's bigger than us, greater than us, the thing that we are part of, is fair and balanced. She's not biased. You get what I mean? So nature deals with balance. When we frig with nature's equilibrium, that's when the thing starts to go a bit Pete tongue. So just for that reason, nature is balanced and strives for balance. So the only way there would be more women is if there's too many men. And if there's too many men, then that would mean that there's actually more men than women. Do you see what I mean? So it's gonna be roughly half. Statistics here, just they're designed to just baffle up people's head. Or not statistics, what was it? Census. Shout out to Sister Gentechua from Wellbeing Wednesday. She said to say census more than statistics. And you see, I'm a fast learner. Yeah. So but what I'm basically trying to say is there's millions and millions and millions of men to select from. Do you get what I mean? And out of those millions and millions, you probably get maybe 1,000 that are going to be like interested in you. 1,000 of men, like you just in your lifetime, if you can entertain 1,000 men, boy, you got a stronger constitution than me, fam. Like, you know what? You go ahead and have that. You get me? But I'm just saying, roughly, there's gonna be 1,000 men to choose from. Do you get what I mean? So for that very reason, yeah, there's no need to compete like for male attention, and that's what I say. To be honest, and be more aware of your bullshit is another way that we can get the best out of our friendships. Like I was saying earlier, I know that okay, sometimes I can be quite closed off. I'm an introvert anyway. I'm an introvert that is confident in myself. Like my confidence and my sense of self and my authority, my personal authority, has no bearing on the fact that I'm an introvert. Do you get what I mean? Like I'm both. But I know that being introverted, being not wanting to be a needy Nelly and all these things, yeah. Yes, fam. And not wanting to be all these things means that sometimes, yeah, I don't talk when I should. Or one of the things that I realize that I do with my friends that are very patient is I talk in parables sometimes, and then they've got to figure out what the hell I'm on about, and then work out what the problem is and all these things. So that's when I say be aware of bullshit. You get what I mean? The next thing that can make your friendship, sisterhood, how we can get the best out of it is acknowledge when you're being defensive. I think I just kind of covered that as well. Just like so, when you're more aware of your BS, be honest, which means that you know that you have BS. Be more aware of your BS, Yes. Oh, I got a guest. I got my brother coming in. All right. Boom, bam. Let's see. I was getting excited when this happens. Hold on, YouTube. Hello. It's saying waiting for. It's saying there we go. Hello, bro. I like your style. Hello. I can see that you're hiding in the back. You know. How you doing? You alright? Yes. I'm okay. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I've literally got. Huh? Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah. 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 But who? Who? But you know what it makes me wonder. It just makes me wonder who put them statistics up and why. Because actually, who does it? Who does it benefit to have an understanding or to believe that there's more women than men? Because what I notice is there's this kind of grooming to kind of compete for male attention, which is actually it goes against the natural order of things. Because actually, when you look at nature again, this is just my opinion. This is not based on any fact at all, but it's just my opinion based on observation. The male of the species is given a something to be able to win over and woo the female. We seem to be the only species where it appears that societally we groom the female of the species to compete for the male attention. It's off balance and it's off kilter and it's weird. I guess it's all. I guess it's all right for the fellas because it's like, oh yeah, well I've got my choice and my pick. But actually, um, the be listen. I know that is not a camera person, man. She don't like it. She don't. I don't know. I've only ever had one other person on there. Yes. You know what that means, then it fam. That means so you need to go correct, or there might be another pillow flying somewhere. Like I can feel it. This is what I'm saying. We was talking about this, and it that like the sisters we can read the thing, we can pick up on the thing I like. And I can't save you from here, fam. I really can't. So if you get doffed up, you're gonna have to just take your lumps, fam. It's quite interesting because the retrograde is it's in Leo at the moment, but it's going to be moving into Cancer towards the end of the retrograde season. So wait, yeah, we're in Leo. No, wait, are we? No, we're in Cancer season now. Wait, is it? Wait. When's your birthday? Is that? Have I missed that again? I'm so rubbish at birthday. All right. Okay, we got time. We got time. Oh, really? Okay. Oakley dokley. Yeah. So huh? Well, I'm sure. Well, are you coming to the doodah? Because there's a something on the 8th, isn't there? Yeah. You know what it is? I'm just mindful about what, how much, yeah, disclosure. Because, like, yeah, that part. Now, I really appreciate it, man. It's so cool. It's good to have you on here, channel. Oh, pants. Wait. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I can see you now. I can hear you too. Yes. No, that's not good. All right, sunshine. You can see me? All right. I really appreciate of you coming through. Yes, bro. Soon, soon. Hopefully on your birthday, we got birthday bumps to give you. We got the lumps to give you. Yeah. Oh, that was so cool. That my brother-in-law came through. That was really lovely, actually. Oh, bless. Okay. So where was we? And again, that was like an example of like of my sister's keeper. If I was a different type of chick, my sis wouldn't be like, yeah, like other half can just come and chill like that. That's what I mean, and that was evidence live. Like and you see, them are the things that makes me feel like, yeah, you get what I mean. So, so be honest. We have BS. Be more aware of our BS. Acknowledge when we're being defensive. Would you want her to do it to you, sis? That's the easiest one. Do to your sister what you'd want her to do to you. That will help the relationship to just grow. You get me? And balance. Talk about what you care about. Understand that she may not care about what you care about, and then make room that we could for both of our cares. And then the last one for me personally is loyalty equals safety. If you know your sister is loyal, fam, you feel safe with anything, like anything is safe with her. You know what I mean? And when you've got a loyal sister, you are completely safe. It's amazing. The best feeling in the world. And as much as I'm a tomboy and I love male company, because like we just don't have all the girly stuff to deal with. But sometimes I can't deal with it, the histrionics and the fluffiness and it's lovely and it's beautiful and I appreciate it. It's just not for me. So I'm very much that I'm a lad in it. Or I'm quite masculine in my energy, even though I'm a very feminine woman. Anywho. But loyalty equals safety. And those are my feelings, thoughts, views, as well as being joined by my lovely brother-in-law um, on sisterhood and friendship. And I think, like, if it's genuine, it can be applied to any. It doesn't have to be just sisters. So that I guess that will be the telling, I suppose. So I'd just like to sign out by saying thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit like if you're on Insta or YouTube. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Share if you feel it was worth sharing. Drink water. Remain humble. Peace.